Good morning. It's week 4. Let's go. You may notice my co-host today has lost a ton of weight in just 1 week. Ben Mintz, how you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Nick Turani. How are you? Welcome to the program.
We get confused all the time. My bowl cut's a little bit straighter on the front, but I'm pretty good.
Oh no.
No, I'm good.
Got a haircut.
For having me. It feels good to be back after I was ousted. I was chased out of town by Stephen Che.
Yeah, we actually we called in a favor with Brandon Walker, had him put in a word with the production team and said, listen, let's kind of get these guys out of here. Yeah. He owed Mitzi a favor for missing one of those eggs at his face. So that was kind of the payback. Thank you for joining us on Dear Mr. Fantasy, presented by Miller Lite.
So are we both Mr. Fantasy?
Yeah, we're actually a situation I guess you're similar with your dad.
Yeah, but how would you play? Is it Dear Mister's Fantasy? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Dear Mister's Fantasy, Marty, let's get that mocked up for
the
next round. But we're going to be taking your questions. The entire time will be on until about 12:10 or so. And we're going to react to the injury reports that are going to be slowly trickling in. A ton of news coming through. So as of last night, we know Christian McCaffrey, Eli Mitchell for the San Francisco 49ers. Both Titans starting receivers, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, Elijah Moore with the Jets, Russell Gage, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton. So 3 of the Giants' top receivers, 2 of them are going to be gone. Chase Claypool, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Deshaun Watson, obviously, Rashad Penny, Giovanni Bernard, James White, and Gronk are all out. We are getting word Dalvin Cook is going to play, Tyler Lockett and Lamar Jackson look like they're going to play. Melvin Gordon and Antonio Gibson likely to play. We'll continue to report on that news as they roll in. We'll get started taking your questions in just a moment. But first, I want to thank our friends at Miller Lite for the sponsorship. It's Miller Time, the absolute best. I got my Miller Time bottle for good luck. Nick, these are 16 ounces, so a pint, coming in a 9-pack. And just look at this sleek can.
That is sleek. That's like an accessory at the bar.
My absolute favorite thing to drink on Sundays with some buffalo chicken spring rolls, buffalo chicken dip, whatever your preference is. Some buffalo chicken, some Miller Lite. That's how you do it. Only 96 calories, 3.2 grams of carbs per 12 ounces. It's Miller Time, brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We thank them for the sponsorship. We're going to see a lot of Miller Times today with a lot of guys getting into the end zone. Nick, are there any particular guys you like today specifically that you might not like on other weeks?
Everybody I'm playing against. I'm up against Juju today, and I think he's going to be – he always gets a ton of targets for very little yards, but I think that's only going to go up with the injuries. I like Anthony Ferkser for the Titans as well.
Okay.
I think that he'll benefit the most with the 2 wide receivers out.
Interesting. Okay. The Jets-Titans game will be, with both – starting receivers to the Titans out. Is that going to mean if you got Derrick Henry, that's pretty much a layup win for you? Should be an interesting match, but let's start taking some questions. I can kick this off today. We got Andrew Beast 69. Love it.
Yeah.
Start Chuba Hubbard, or some might say Chuba Hubbard, or Jonathan Taylor. This is an interesting one. Jonathan Taylor was probably a late first round, early second round guy. I actually do like him to bounce back against Miami today. Quentin Nelson is out, but I think it's really hard to not go Chuba Hubbard today. Dallas has an improved defense, certainly, but just looking at the Christian McCaffrey role, which was RB15 last year, Mike Davis is an okay player, but Chuba Hubbard definitely has a little bit more juice than him. I expect Hubbard to have a better day than Taylor.
Yeah, it's not as sexy, but I think you just got to go with the guaranteed numbers. Hines has been playing really well. I think he has cemented himself in that offense in Indy. So I'm agreeing with you there, Steve. Look at us.
There we go. 2 buddies just on the same page. All right, Nick, you take one from the chat.
All right, let's go Nathan Edgar, Antonio Brown, or Allen Robinson.
Ooh, who do you like there? You take your own.
I am buying low on Allen Robinson. I'm trying to get him in some leagues. He's got all the talent in the world, and he's played with just piss poor quarterbacks his entire career. The poor guy, and he's still very good. I know this is a fallacy, but I feel it inside of me that he's due. AB, he's still, Gronk's out, which is going to be more targets to go around. But Allen Robinson, I think he gets his today.
Okay. Nick, can I just remind you to bump the stream?
Yeah.
We just set the live one out. I just texted it to you.
Gotcha.
Okay, so DeAndre Swift is going to be active today, thank God. I actually like him with his prop bet over under 37.5 receiving yards. I believe he's gotten that in every game this season. Here we go. Let's say Sam Irwin. We got Javonte Williams, Michael Pittman Jr., or Henry Ruggs in the flex non-PPR. Interesting here because Javonte Williams going against Baltimore. I don't love that matchup. He had a fumble, a critical fumble towards the end of the last game, right around the goal line. Michael Pittman Jr. has been pretty steady. This is actually counter to what I would typically do because I don't really like these boomer bust receivers. Henry Ruggs, I think the game on Monday night in LA against the Chargers, I think that's going to be a really high scoring game. I love the over in that matchup. I'm actually going to take Ruggs, which is counter to what I typically would do, but just due to this matchup, I like Henry Ruggs on Monday night. Plus, I always like having a guy on Monday night just so it's like, all right, well, if I'm down a bet, if he has a monster game, I'm going to win.
There's always a little bit of hope starting Monday night, guys. But I'm going to go Javonte Williams here just because they paid Melvin Gordon a ton of money. He's been playing well, but he is banged up, and I think they're going to lean a little bit more on Williams today.
Would love to see some Pookie Williams carries. All right, Nick, you take one.
All right. Let's see here. Oh, this is tough. Let's go Tony Gienta. He just disappeared.
We get a lot of chats with these. Let's or you got
there it. There he is. Gaskin, Patterson, or Ruggs. This one's tough to me. Because I think if you're going with guaranteed touches, you go Gaskin, right? But I really like Patterson.
So I will say Cordarrelle Patterson in each of 3 games this season has had exactly 7 carries. So you chalk him up for probably about 7 carries today. His over-under in the sportsbook is a very tough 6.5. Mm-hmm. But 7 carries for him. And I think with the Washington front 7, they're going to get after Matt Ryan early and often. What they did against Tampa is they manufactured a lot of touches with him on jet sweeps, on screens, and things like that. So I actually love Patterson today, as if he can play in Yahoo. I believe he's a running, or in ESPN he's a running back. In Yahoo he's a running back / receiver. I like him as an RB2 today, or as a wide receiver 3.
All right, so so that's your flex. That's a good flex.
Yeah, I like Patterson a lot.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Here we go. Stephen Brewer, Kenny Galladay, Jalen Waddle, or Brandon Ayuk. This is what I always preach. It's Value Street and Opportunity Avenue, the intersection of those two. Kenny Galladay, who I liked all season and preseason. He's going against the Saints. The other 2 receivers in his room, Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton, are both out. So he has a tough matchup against Marshawn Lattimore, Saints defense, which is very good. But who else are they throwing the ball to? I mean, Saquon, sure. Evan Ingram, maybe, but you got to go Galladay. They're going to pass for some yards. You figure Kenny Galladay is going to get some catches.
But Galladay hasn't been able to get it done with those guys drawing attention. What makes you think he's going to be able to do that today?
There's just no other choice. We're throwing to guys like practice squad guys off the street. I like Galladay. It's just too much. They're gonna have to manufacture stuff for him.
I it's close with Waddle and Galladay for me.
Yeah,
I like the targets that Jalen Waddle gets, and he catches fucking everything, as opposed to Galladay, who catches fucking nothing. So
does the Miami QB situation worry you at all?
Would you rather have Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones gets a really bad rap for last season. 2 years ago as a rookie, 24 touchdowns. I mean, the guy has an arm. Does he get rid of it on time? No. But it's not like he can't do it. So
he's wants to run first now.
One thing to note on this game is it is a very low over-under. It's 42, which is only half a point more than Bears versus Lions. So I can see where the Jalen Waddle love comes in. Brandon Ayuk, I mean, what to make of this guy? Debo Samuel is clearly the guy Jimmy G favors. week 1 was a surprising 0 targets. I'm a little cool on Brandon Ayuk as long as Jimmy G is the starter.
Yeah.
I love these. Need to play 2, James Daly. Need to play 2. Naheem Hines, Juju Smith-Schuster, Michael Pittman Jr., Robbie Anderson, and it is PPR.
Okay.
PPR, I think you have to go Naheem Hines as a running back. He just catches the ball, and he's going to have the safe floor with the rushing yards. Nick, you mentioned the Juju. You expect him to get a ton of targets. Michael Pittman Jr. Robbie Anderson's value is a little bit less in PPR. I'll let you take the second guy in this question, Nick.
I don't want to be called a homer. Juju's been getting a ton of targets. Pittman has been great. I think he's still a decent start, but what was it? Zach Pascal's been playing well behind him. I'm going to go Hines and Juju.
Okay, I like that.
Juju he gets a lot of targets, but he won't get a lot of yards, I don't think.
Deontay Johnson looks like he's playing, right?
I don't trust it. It looks like a decoy kind of thing to me.
I think that is a 4:00 game, so that's not going to be announced yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. Schefter retweeted this. Panthers are going to back Christian McCaffrey. Hamstring is out today, but he made the trip to Dallas. There's a chance he could return next week, but maybe more likely in 2 weeks. Interesting. He's going through a stretch run team. Wow. Okay, let's take some more questions.
If you're a McCaffrey owner, do you want him rushed back out there?
If you're a McCaffrey owner, hopefully you had Hubbard. I mean, you have to get Christian McCaffrey is the unanimous number 1 overall pick. If you're taking a running back that high, I would have hoped that you would have handcuffed him late with Hubbard. If you didn't and you don't have Hubbard, you're in a lot of trouble and you're scrambling. So I guess it depends on your situation. If you have Hubbard and you handcuffed him, then I would say take another week or so off. If you didn't, you're trying to get him back.
You want him back right now. Run him into the ground. Yeah.
Here we go. Peyton McLaughlin. Josh Jacobs. Do I take the risk? So the risk here is he's on the injury report. He's on Monday night. So that is always a super risk. A guy that hopefully you'd picked up in this last week is Peyton Barber. Kenyon Drake he's owned in most leagues. Kenyon Drake, I feel. He's a third down back, change of pace back. They thought it was going to be a timeshare. It didn't look like it. Peyton Barber, a guy whose namesake you actually share, different spelling though, carried, I think he had 111 rushing yards last week. I think he had 140 total yards and a touchdown. He's a guy that can get it done between the tackles. I think if he is available in your league, you should pick him up and roll with just whoever's starting. Obviously, we're going to find out about Josh Jacobs' injury status tomorrow night, so I would do that. Yeah,
that might be the least sexy play. You're not going to be feeling good going and starting Peyton Barber.
You will not.
Yeah, it's just I wouldn't be happy about it, but got to do it.
I think it's a good alternative, though. If you don't have Peyton Barber or can't get him, then you can't play Jacobs tomorrow just because you could have a donut there.
It's too risky on a Monday night, yeah.
Yeah. All right, you take one, Nick.
Let's get a tight end question. Oh, here we go. I like this one. Conklin or Tyson Williams? That's interesting.
Ooh.
It's always weird flexing a tight end.
Yeah. I mean, Conklin had a nice game last week, but I mean, you're actually kind of in this dilemma with Tyson. So why don't you kind of walk us through your thinking?
So this probably isn't fair for me to be sharing my thoughts because I am going to be biased here as a Tyson owner. I'm starting him even though he got 5 carries last week. How many did he get last week, Jay?
Yeah, he got 5 carries last week.
That's fucking sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're in a full-blown time there with Devontae Freeman. And they just elevated Devontae Freeman and Latavius Murray. But they just elevated Le'Veon Bell from the practice squad today. So that's got to ring off a few alarm bells in your head.
I don't think Conklin would be your best choice to start over Tyson. I mean, if there's like I said, I like Anthony Ferkser to get some targets. I'm sure he's on your waiver. Cameron Brate on the waiver wire, I think would be a fine start if you want to get a receiving tight end off the wire. So any of those two, or I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'd go here, but I think I'd go Tyson just for the slightly higher floor.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to go with a tight end who he's had a fair number of catches each game. I think he's had at least 2 each game. He's coming off his best week. I think you have a very low floor with him. Tyson, based on last week, also has a low floor, but he historically on this season has been a safer play. So I would roll with Tyson.
I don't think it's 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, for everyone watching and commenting, please upvote the stream. That helps us a lot. All right, let me go. Where did it go? All right, Spencer. Oh my God, your last name. Bowenko. Half-point PPR, Allen Robinson, Corey Davis, or Emmanuel Sanders. My favorite bet of the day is Corey Davis. I love revenge games. Corey Davis signed with the Jets as a free agent this summer, was with the Titans. He is, I'm sure, made it known that he wants the ball this week. It's very tough to rely on Jets receivers, but going against his old team who doesn't have a good defense at all, I really like Corey Davis to have a good game. He's actually my favorite bet of the day. I have him over 54.5 receiving yards and a touchdown, which is plus 400 in the Barstool Sportsbook. Start Corey Davis. I just think he has way more upside. Emmanuel Sanders, he was kind of a flash in the pan 1 week guy. If they blow out Houston today, he could, do something, but I feel like you're pretty touchdown dependent. He didn't have a ton of targets, and he doesn't average a ton of targets for the season.
My favorite bet of the day is also a Jets wide receiver, Che.
Yeah.
Braxton Berrios over 1.5 receptions.
Wow. A Braxton Berrios bet.
I think he had 11 targets week 2, 7 receptions. Like he had 6 receptions week 1, over 1.5. He had 2 last week, but I think over 1.5 is my bet of the day.
Okay, I like that.
Sports book.
Love that.
This is a weird combo of this is a Allen Robinson being the most talented, Corey Davis I think getting the most targets, and then we have who was the third one there?
Who was it? We just lost it. It was Allen Robinson, Corey Davis, or crap. I don't remember. We literally just talked about this. But
we just talked about it, and I forgot. Yeah, that's fine.
We're moving through.
Emmanuel Sanders, and that's the best matchup of it. But I think you got to go volume. I'd go Corey Davis here.
Love it. All right, we got a super chat from Scott Clever. Chuba Hubbard, Jalen Waddle, Michael Pittman Jr., or Naheem Hines flex PPR. Who you got, Nick?
PPR. Oh man, this is tough. I think you asked me first because you don't know and you want more time to
I'm going Hubbard.
In this order, I'm going Hubbard, Hines, Waddle, Pittman.
I like that. I would probably switch the back half, but like we're talking about 3rd and 4. We go with one of the top 2. I would go Hubbard. I go Hubbard. Opportunities there. I mean, he's a starting running back in Carolina. He's gonna get volume.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I like from Motive, Godwin or McLaurin?
I mean, you must be really deep if you're going to bench one of these guys.
Yeah.
So Gronk is out tonight. I do expect Cameron Brate, my guy, to have a good game. Terry McLaurin going against Atlanta.
Is Curtis Samuel back this week?
Sorry, what's that?
Is Curtis Samuel back?
Curtis Samuel is expected to play. He practiced this week, I know. Okay. I would go Chris Godwin. I think Brady's going to have a really good game. His over-under is 2.5 touchdowns. We're going to have a really nice parlay, a Tom Brady parlay later today in the Barstool Sportsbook with boosted odds in the Bet with Barstool section. I think Chris Godwin's going to have a really good day. Of the guys there, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, I expect Chris Godwin to have the best game.
These guys are like neck and neck. They're very similar in my head here. But I'd go Godwin just for the Brady return. He's going to be playing, lights out, I think.
If it's ever really close, take a look at the over-unders. The over-under in Washington, Atlanta, 47.5. The over-under in Tampa Bay, New England is 49.5. So Vegas expects the primetime game to be a little bit more high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. Chandler.
We got another super chat up here too from Jason Thomas.
Okay, let's roll with that. Adam Thielen or Deontay Johnson, full point PPR. I'll let you take this as the Steelers guy.
I'm not trusting Deontay Johnson's health or Ben Roethlisberger's washed ass noodle arm.
It was tough last week.
Their offense is abysmal. Their offense is very bad, and Thielen, he's not like the flashiest guy, but he's been getting it done this year,
especially in the red zone. I mean,
especially in the red zone
last year. Yeah,
there was that a little emergence of Osborne that like kind of probably had Thielen owners concerned, but that seems to have tampered back down. And I think you have to go Thielen here.
I would agree with that. We're getting some super chats. I don't want to do only super chats. We'll do Nick Carter. Oh, Nick Carter, who asked a couple weeks ago. Awesome. Here, Nick, you take this. You like one of these guys specifically.
Yeah, I do. I mean, with AJ Brown and Julio out, the ball has to go somewhere. And I know Derrick Henry's been catching more, but I really like Ferkser. Kyle Pitts, from where people drafted him, people had like crowned him as the best rookie tight end ever. I think he is that skill-wise, but Matt Ryan is very, very bad. Yes. And it's like Ridley hasn't gotten his. Pitts, I mean, it's a bad situation in Atlanta that starts with the quarterback. Tennessee, Tannehill's got to get it out. He's got to throw it. Ferkser there, and it probably pains you for where you drafted Kyle Pitts. What, 4th, 5th round for some people?
Yeah, it was wildly early. I mean, only 4 rookie tight ends have ever eclipsed 800 yards. He could be the 5th, but like if you're drafting a tight end that high, is 800 yards really what you're looking for? Like, it's tough. I also did you'll like this. I did a cut up of Matt Ryan a couple weeks ago after the Bucs beat them, and there was one throw specifically where he ran into the throw. Like he had 3 steps to climb into the pocket, deliver it. And he delivered this like noodle throw. It didn't even go 45 yards. It could have been a touchdown to Calvin Ridley had he been able to actually place it and lead him. I showed this to Big T, and Big T's exact quote. I think if you put Matt Ryan on the Kansas City Chiefs, they don't have any different of a record.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that is very delicious.
He said he's the top 10 quarterback right now.
He said fringe top 10, did he not?
Fringe top 10, yes.
So, you're right. Does that mean like 10, 11? Still no, but
no, we did it out. I think everyone always is like, oh, my guy's like a top 5, like if you actually do it out, that's not the case.
No, not even close. That poor boy.
I like this question. Grady Salaman, full point PPR, Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, or DeAndre Swift. Jefferson coming off a really good game. Mike Evans also coming off a pretty good game. I like DeAndre Swift though. He gets catches. Like he's getting like 6-7 catches a ball game, and he's giving you those rushing yards going against a Bears defense. I really like his over under for receiving 37.5 today in the Barstool Sportsbook. I'm rolling with DeAndre Swift there just because he does have that safe floor with the carries.
Yep, absolutely. I've been like really pleasantly surprised. I was refusing. I was not going to buy him across any leagues, and I'm regretting that right now. He's really good. I'm going to go Swift there too. He gets the ball a lot.
I begrudgingly got him in half my leagues because it's just like I've taken the approach in most leagues to just kind of wait on running backs, and it comes down to like that, Chris Carson, DeAndre Swift,
Mike Davis,
Mike Davis like area, and Swift of that group was kind of right in there for me. So I got a couple shares of him, which has been he's been great. Jamal Williams scared me at first, but it looks like Swift is definitely the guy.
Yeah, without doubt.
All right, Nick, you got one.
There's a lot of Ruggs questions today, huh?
I really like Ruggs this week. I don't really like him as a fantasy player overall.
Let's look for let's do Jacob asked Woods or Allen rest of season. I think he's ROB. Oh, Allen Robb. Oh, okay. I thought he said rest of season wrong. That's still a good question. Would the 2 disappointing guys there? Woods or Allen Robinson? Chad?
I would go with the guy with the higher scoring offense. Like Cooper Kupp's been the guy, and that's kind of been our fantasy's rallying cry since preseason. Like I don't know why Robert Woods is rated over Cooper Kupp. Like he's going to be the dude. Robert Woods certainly disappointed so far, but Robert Woods overall, when you look season long, has been pretty consistent. I would go Robert Woods just because he's tied to a much better offense. Like Allen Robinson, have they announced, or they said Justin Fields is going to start, but until this morning, Nick Foles could have been the starter for the Bears. Like we have no idea what's going on there.
But Allen Robinson has gotten it done with worse.
Correct. Correct.
And if there's a lot of mouths to feed in LA.
Yep.
And Jefferson's getting a lot of targets. Higbee's getting a lot of targets. Deshaun Jackson got a touchdown last week, a big one. I think I'd go Allen here.
Okay.
Just because he's the guy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Allen Robinson is the guy. Darnell Mooney has emerged a little bit, but Allen Robinson's still getting targets.
Yeah,
He can, he did drop a touchdown 2 weeks ago that Justin Fields put right on him. Little bit of additional injury news, not huge. Jacob Eason's out. Brett Hundley is the number 2 quarterback for the Colts. We confirmed earlier Dalvin Cook, Antonio Gibson, DeAndre Swift, Jameson Crowder, all active. All right, let's go to a few more questions. Corey Davis, Allen Robinson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, PPR. I'm rolling Corey Davis. Corey Davis is going to have a day today. I'm telling you guys.
I'm super biased towards running backs.
I hate Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
He's not very good. Or they don't use him appropriately. It's one of the two.
He's like a 40, 50 yard a game guy. Last week, he had a huge day, which was surprising. But I don't know what's going on with that running game. Maybe they're on an upswing, but I'm buying Corey Davis instead of the CEH upswing.
But you just said that you're taking the better offense, with the Woods and Allen Robinson.
If it is very close and tied, I don't think this is very close, in my opinion.
I think the touchdown odds are significantly higher for Edwards-Helaire.
He's awful in the red zone. Awful. I think his rookie year, I think he was 3 for 29 on red zone carries.
Right, but against Corey Davis or Allen Robinson, if you had to bet one to get a touchdown, you'd still go Corey Davis?
This week, I'm betting Corey Davis.
Just because of revenge game?
Yep.
Fuck it, you've swayed me. You've swayed me, Che.
All about the revenge game.
It's a Corey Davis revenge game, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I like starting running backs when you're undecided for floor.
Yeah. I like this question a lot. Dylan Hibbets. Which side won this trade? Javonte Williams and Mike Williams for Jonathan Taylor. Now, preseason wisdom would show, a borderline first round, second round running back is going to win this deal. But this is, live bullets. We've already started the season. I don't know what's going on with the Colts quarterback situation. Carson Wentz is hobbling around on 2 sprained ankles. Quentin Nelson got carted off last week. He's out this week. I mean, you look at kind of what's on paper. Mike Williams is wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
So you got to go with that. You got to go with what we've seen. You can bet on Jonathan Taylor having a big upswing towards the second half of the season. I heard a very interesting point on this, actually, is that Carson Wentz is mainly a shotgun quarterback. Jonathan Taylor is not as used to running out of the shotgun. His main play is the stretch play, which is something out of when you're under center. And can Carson Wentz on 2 hobbled ankles kind of get out to where he needs to get to give that handoff to Jonathan Taylor? Uncertain there. So I've always been a big Pookie Williams guy. I think he's going to have a huge second half of the season. We see Melvin Gordon on the injury list. He is going to play today, and they are in a timeshare. But I think you're going to start to see the tides turning with Javonte Williams over Melvin Gordon. It's already 50-50. And Mike Williams, I mean, he's the best player in this deal right now.
Yeah. The Williams side of the trade ran away with it. A lot of people have.
It's an interesting buy low, though.
It is, but as soon as the draft ends, it doesn't matter what round you took them in when the season starts, and a lot of people are hung up on that. So if you do have somebody, a first-round pick that isn't performing, send them off for some fourth and fifth round guys. That value is a fallacy.
Yeah. All right, you take one, Nick.
All right. Ooh, let's go Keeg 9351, AB or Beckham, Odell Beckham. PPR.
Antonio Brown has been activated off of the COVID list, so he is going to play today.
Okay.
People forget this is an Antonio Brown revenge game too. Played one game with the Patriots.
This is an Antonio, and he's got to be livid after a long, illustrious career with the Patriots. So what do you think? Are you going to be a homer here?
I don't like Odell Beckham in fantasy. I do not like him. Not dependable at all. One of my favorite bets preseason was Odell Beckham under 850.5 yards. He is going to get nicked up. I know Jarvis Landry, is dealing with some injuries and stuff right now. It's Minnesota, who has an okay defense. I just cannot buy Odell Beckham. Antonio Brown had a great week 1, has really trailed off since. Week 2, he didn't play last week. I still roll with AB. How about you?
Full point PPR with Landry out. I like Beckham. Plus, it's a positive matchup, I think. Maybe what's the over under on that? Do you have that up? Do we have that?
The over under. Sorry, on which?
The Browns.
Yes, the Browns over under is 51.5. So
51.5.
Pretty high scoring.
So I like that a lot. So if it is full point PPR, I think Beckham will get the targets, especially with the injuries. Brown, though, I mean, I could see him getting in the end zone for sure. But I'd get Beckham here just to disagree with you.
All right. Nick Solis, start 3, Cup, Lockett, Mike Williams, Diggs, PPR. If you have Cooper Kupp and Mike Williams on the same team, you have to be undefeated. Those are wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. And you have great fortune. Hopefully you've been listening to the show and you're pumping Cooper Kupp. We've gotten a lot of thank you messages from that. But Mike Williams, if you got him, that's awesome. I don't think you can really start Tyler Lockett this week of this group. Just because he's coming off like a pretty bad looking injury. It looks like he is going to play, but I mean, Stephon Diggs, they're probably going to pack it in early, but hopefully he can catch a touchdown. He's a top 10 wide receiver at all times. And honestly, Kupp and Mike Williams this year are as well.
Yeah, this is a great problem to have.
Yeah,
but I agree with you there, especially after Lockett's injury. Like it looked bad. But yeah, Kupp, Williams, Diggs. This is awesome. Good for you, man. Good for you, Nick.
Can we be fancy heroes and be like, what are you in a 6-team league?
Yeah, what the fuck? It was a 2-team league.
All right, Nick, you take one.
All right, let's go. I want a different question. A lot of Henderson, who I like.
He's playing today, yeah.
Let's go, Brian Lawton, Cam Brate, or Robert Tonyan.
Ooh, interesting one. I'll let you win first. Yeah. What's that?
Tanyan's been very disappointing. I think he had 1 target last week.
Yeah.
And I know last year he was really touchdown dependent. I do think that Water will level out, and I think he'll be starting getting more targets. I don't know here. What do you think, Che?
Cam Brate. Cam Brate is I mean, not only is he my guy, but he's going to be the main guy in place of Gronk. So OJ Howard is going to get more reps, but OJ Howard's coming off a torn Achilles. I think he has maybe 2 catches this season. They'll put him in spots, but Cam Brate is a guy, especially around the goal line. His touchdown score prop went from like plus 390, I think, or 290 to plus like 175. Like he's getting moved a lot. I would go with Cam Brate in this matchup. Tanyan, yeah, he's just been maddeningly inconsistent.
He hasn't done anything to earn that starting spot yet.
Brate, I think, had 4 catches last week after Gronk got hurt, so he's your guy.
That's right.
Ooh. Pick 2 of 3. Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Deontay Johnson. It's the Deontay Johnson thing, like he's gonna play, but it makes you nervous because you don't know how he's gonna do off of injury. If this is a completely healthy Deontay Johnson, I think it's an absolute no-brainer, Mike Evans, Deontay Johnson, but we're factoring the injury here. So I would probably lean Jalen Waddle, which is kind of makes me uncomfortable. But Mike Evans, I think, is a definite start out of those two.
I'm really high on Jalen Waddle. Yeah, Mike Evans first. I think it's in order of how I do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mike Evans in the red zone, like he said, he's going to be a monster, especially with Gronk out. He already is good in the red zone with Gronk in. Yeah, it pains me, but yeah, I think you gotta sit Deontay if you can this week.
All right, we're gonna take let's take 4 more questions. All right.
Ooh, what about this one? Nick Campen, start 2 to watch football with Lil Sass, Roan, Owen, KB. Who?
To watch football with.
Yeah. So Lil Sass is a Patriots fan.
I have a no-brainer answer.
Patriots fan, Eagles fan, and then 2 Jets fans.
I mean, I'm 100% going Roan and Owen. And not to say don't like Lil Sass or KB, but they're not going to be focused on the game. They'll be more focused on other stuff. Owen's awesome. He's going to cut up social. He's going to do some great things. Roan is my co-manager in fantasy. We text all the time on Sunday about our players. So it'd be great to watch the games with Roan. I love Lil Sass and KB, so no slate on them, but it's just more of a sports thing. How about you?
So Lil Sass, I think, has a real high upside. I think he'll have a
Definitely.
good second half. But you got to go with what you know. And I've known Roan and KB the longest. I think they have the higher floor as a friend, just because of age, experience. So give me Roan and KB.
KB strikes me as a guy who's going to come over and not bring anything.
That is right. That's exactly right. One time, KB came over and he asked if he could borrow a pair of jeans before we went out because he was wearing sweats. And I gave him my jeans. I gave him a pair of jeans that were like kind of smaller on me. He put them on and they fit, and they just left. He didn't go out. He just took my jeans. He said he had a stomachache and went home. Just took my jeans.
What a move! What a move! That is great. All right, let's bang out a couple more. Actually, hold on. I'm going to take this one offline. I got a DM from our friend Chuck Nasso.
Oh, yeah.
Some advice. Can he leave Cordarrelle Patterson in at flex? He's got Robbie Anderson, Jalen Waddle, Nyheim Hines. I'm definitely leaving Cordarrelle Patterson in at flex, Chuck. Appreciate the message that you're tuning in. Definitely leaving Cordarrelle Patterson at flex. Washington is giving up 125 rushing yards a game to the opposition this season. They have a very scary front four. I get it, the Maroon 4. But I mean, the numbers are the numbers. Mike Davis gets a ton of carries, but Cordarrelle Patterson, 7 carries a game. He's going to be steady. I love Cordarrelle Patterson again as a start this week. Chuck, thank you.
They call them the Maroon 4?
They were the Maroon 5 last year with Ryan Kerrigan, but he's gone. They're all first rounders,
right?
They're all first rounders.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I like that.
I like that name. All right, you take one. Take 3 more.
Right. Anyone I want, huh? All right, Ransom D Orizio. Pick 2. Montgomery, Taylor, Hines, Moss. So Zach Moss, after he was a healthy scratch week 1, I dropped.
Oh no.
I'm regretting that. Big time. And I know, he takes those goal line touches. I know Allen is always a threat to kind of, I don't know who vultures from who in that situation.
Yep.
I really like Montgomery. I like his matchup. I don't know if this is PPR standard. Sheesh, this is tough. Give me Montgomery and I guess Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. Yeah, I think Montgomery in this situation is going to be a must start.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Butler 14 is spamming the chat. We need to answer his question. Full point PPR, Kenny Galladay.
We're rewarding spamming.
We encourage comments and activity. Appreciate it, Butler. Full point PPR, Kenny Galladay or Jacoby Myers at flex. This is an interesting one because the Bucks could be without their top 3 corners. Richard Sherman, who they signed on Wednesday or Tuesday, is starting today.
Yeah.
That's not good. That is not good at all. I do like Kenny Galladay overall, but in this situation, I got to go Jacoby Myers. You cannot run on the Bucks. Teams just don't. They don't even try anymore. So they're going to try and spread them out. I expect a ton of short passes from New England. Again, we have no cornerbacks really. Jacoby Myers should have a pretty okay day.
And those little James White passes have to go somewhere.
Yep.
And I think Myers could inherit those. I know a lot of
Andre Stevenson.
No, JJ.
Oh, crap. Super tiny guy, right?
JJ something. He's very, very tiny. I know a lot of people were like, yo, pick him up
he was the guy with the spin move in preseason against
That's
the
right.
Eagles.
Yeah. So but I think Jacoby Myers will benefit a lot from that as well.
All right, we'll go final 2.
Yeah.
All right, you pick one, Nick. Or actually, no, this is the last one.
You take it.
We'll both take one. Ooh, I like this. This is a super deep league. Shout out to Owen for the Sharky Duck. Alejandro Alfont. Oh no. Half point PPR, KJ Osborne or Kenneth Gainwell. Yikes. So you're in a tough spot. You need some points out of these. Kenny Gainwell, I kind of like for, he's going to get some touches, especially against Kansas City. They're going to be down. He's a good receiving back. KJ Osborne, I sneaky like to have a nice bounce back today. This one's tough. Nick, who you got?
in my brain, Gainwell's a lottery ticket.
They're both lottery. I mean, this is deep.
Yeah,
this is deep.
Osborne has proven it a little bit more. This is give me half PPR. Give me Osborne here. I think he had a good week 1, week 2, bad week 3. I think he had.
He didn't have a target in the first half.
Yeah, he
had catches for like 26 yards.
Yeah, but I think there's a bounce back there. I'd go Osborne here.
I like the Eagles actually to beat the Chiefs today, which is a crazy take. I know.
Oh, what told you that was happening? Was there any form of data?
There was, yes. My data told me this before the season that the Chiefs would lose 2 in a row right around this time, and it would be the Chargers and the Eagles. Now, if they lost, it would be 3 in a row because they did lose to the Ravens by a point. Thank you, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But I like the Eagles to just win outright today. They couldn't have played worse last week. I think this is a great bounce-back situation. The Chiefs, I think, are in a little bit of trouble. I think they're going to be fine. They're going to make the playoffs. They'll probably win their division. It's a tough division, but I like the Eagles today. So even with all that said, I like KJ Osborne to bounce back.
This guy just asked me for fantasy advice. Is Middle Earth better than Westeros? Yes, significantly.
Way better.
My God.
This is some type of fan fiction that I'm not familiar with.
Lord of the Rings versus Game of Thrones.
Neither for me.
Okay.
Surface Earth, what we live on.
Nah, you stuck with Middle Earth.
Where were they in the Matrix? They were like below.
They were in the Matrix.
Well, they were like below the.
That was just Earth. That was just they were underneath of.
They scorched the sun.
Bastards.
Okay, this has been a lot of fun. I want to get you guys some time to make these decisions, implement them. We'll have this up on the blog momentarily as well. I want to thank you to my good friend Nick Turani for joining the show in Ben Mintz's absence. Ben Mintz is going to play in the World Series of Poker today. He will be on the show tomorrow, as usual, coming out Tuesday morning. But give Ben some good vibes on Twitter. He's rocking a new haircut. Arguable results on how it turned out. Week last week with getting caught scratching his nuts on tape, and he needs a little bit of a bounce back. So please shoot him some good vibes on Twitter. He will certainly appreciate that. But we want to thank all you guys for tuning in, commenting, watching. This has been Dear Mr. Fantasy. Let's win some games.
Mister's Fantasy.
Mister's Fantasy. Mister's Fantasy. Thank you guys for watching.